one of my favorite people in the entire planet, Miss Joan Endicott. Joan, how are you, my dear?
I'm doing great. I'm so delighted to be with you, as always.
Well, you're always doing wonderful things, and that's one of the things that I love so much about you. But you have this incredible event for women coming up the 24th and 25th, and women owning their worth.
Yes, I'm so excited about it. You and I have talked in the past about how women, whether it's somebody who's just wanting to do better in their career, they want to start their own business, or it's somebody who needs to get out of a toxic relationship, or they just need to start talking to themselves differently. And sometimes it's from a past issue, sometimes it's from, well, a lot of times it's just a combination of things. Our own insecurities. I like to tell people, my name is Joan Endicott, and I'm a recovering approval addict. Because the truth is, I spent too many darn years worrying about what other people thought, or what I thought they thought. Even I might not have even known what they thought, but I thought they thought something. And so what I did was, determined by, or at least affected by, what other people's opinion was. And so my passion, along with, as you know, I'm a keynote speaker for all different organizations and life coach and author. But in the January, I was like, you know what, we just need to have something that is personal and professional development for women, but it meets a faith-based foundation. When people just say, well, you just need to, be more confident, or you just need to realize how wonderful and valuable you are. Well, where do you get that? Where's your fundamental, where's your compass for that?
And with anything, with any skill that we have in life, whether that be a job, whether that be a hobby, whatever that happens to be, you've gotten some training along the way.
Yes.
You don't just wake up one day and all of a sudden are an expert at whatever the activity happens to be. Well, it's the same thing with life.
Absolutely.
Without having the skills and being, a help to guide, how can you perfect being the best you?
Yes, exactly. So, you can say, I know that, my Creator made me exactly how I should be. I'm unique. Well, here's the reality also, which is true. But if we're not owning that, and that's why I say women owning their worth. It's not just knowing intellectually, because we can know that, but we don't show up that way. What about our internal dialogue? We self-sabotage all the time, saying, well, I'm just not going to get that raise, so why even try? Why even ask? I'm not going to get that promotion, or I'm not equipped enough, or I don't have what it takes to start my own business, even though that's a dream that you've had, or write a book, or whatever that is, or get out of a toxic relationship and get into a healthy relationship, or not even think about relationships, just get healthy yourself. Because I know women who are in toxic relationships, or who have been, and they said, well, when I find a better guy, I'm like, no, you need to just get out of that relationship and stop thinking that you're not worth more than that. I'll tell you one thing that was just, a kicker for me years ago, and this is one reason I'm so passionate about it, is I had a gal run up to me at a BSU football game, and I knew I recognized her, but I didn't really know from where, and she goes, Joan, I've been waiting so long to tell you this. And I'm like, oh, what? And I was like, seemed so excited to see me, and I'm like, what? And she goes, and she got tears in her eyes. She goes, you saved my life. And I said, okay, that's so sweet, but I'm pretty sure it's an overstatement. And she said, no, and her husband was there. She goes, no, because of what you told me at a women's event years ago, I realized I needed to leave the toxic, dysfunctional, abusive relationship I was in. And she said, if I would not have, I would not be here today. And I wouldn't be here for my kids, and I wouldn't have met this amazing man. And he's sitting there nodding his head. And here's the reality. Women are amazing. They just don't know it. And even if they know it intellectually, they're not owning it. They're not showing up. And all you need to do is say, what's my internal dialogue? What am I telling myself every day? What am I allowing? How am I allowing other people to treat me? How am I allowing myself? What am I allowing myself to think, say, or do that is not healthy?
Right.
So it's really a process of, what am I doing, and what do I want to do different, and where do I want to be in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year?
Well, okay, so all of this is so very true, and there's so many Women in my life that mean more than anything in the world to me. That I want them to be better. I want them to believe in themselves the way that I see them as these amazing, wonderful, beautiful women, and yet they self-sabotage.
Exactly.
Now, what are they going to get? I mean, when we talk about giving them the skills on the 24th and 25th.
Exactly. And so I'm really excited. Yesterday I met with a portion of our panel, or one of our panels. We're having 2 women's panels of just dynamite, amazing, incredible women. And the thing that I saw was that they all have gone, all of us women have our insecurities. I say we're like little girls in big girl bodies, basically. And I want to invite everybody that is high school and up. I wish I would have had something like this when I was in high school. And so I do want to mention the website is wowwomenowningtheirworth.com. So you can check that out. But also go to the Facebook page, which is Wow Women Owning Their Worth, and like and share and comment, and then follow or whatever that's called, where you see the notifications. Anyway, so but the 7 steps that we're going to cover are: I get to take 100% responsibility for my life. That's the number one thing. If we don't take 100% responsibility for our life, nothing else matters.
Right.
And this started back in the garden. I mean, Eve blamed the serpent. Adam blamed Eve. It was like the blame game happening. Well, he did it, she did it. Here's the reality. You get to take 100% responsibility of your life. You need to slay the giants of blame and excuse. Get over it. Get on with today. You have 100% of your life left. So stop looking back and look forward and say, what do I get to do with it? The second thing is I get to choose my attitude and perspective always. The third is I get to replace fear with faith. Fourth is I get to take courageous action regardless of my feelings. We don't wait. People are like, well, I don't feel courageous. Duh.
Yeah.
You don't feel like going to work maybe, but the reality is you get to go to work and you do it, and then you declare things into your life that you want to be. You don't declare how you're feeling. You declare what you want it to be. The fifth thing, which is huge, this has been just a huge turnaround for me as well in slaying this giant, is I get to let go of that. And that is anything I can't fix, change, or control. Because do you know that the stress that we feel every day, the majority of it has to do with things we can't fix, change, or control.
Right.
So we're freaked out about things that we can't fix, change, or control, instead of focusing on what we can do that is serving others well, whether that be at work or our families, our relationships. And the sixth thing is think and speak life-giving words. Life-giving words. And the seventh thing is live grounded in truth. So one of my favorite go-to questions, and I always tell my coaching clients or my clients I'm speaking to, one of the most important questions you can always ask when you're having these self-sabotaging thoughts is it true? Mm-hmm. Is it true? Based on what the one who created you says, is what you're thinking right now true? If it's not, we're going to give you tools to just reach over and hit the delete button on that computer screen in your brain. I mean, the great thing about it is I had the opportunity last month to connect with Ken Blanchard while he was here, who's one of my most favorite people in the world, a great role model and mentor. And he reminded us all that our brain is just like the computer in the sense that it doesn't distinguish truth from false. When we're telling ourselves something, if we're telling ourselves we're successful, we're enabled, we're capable, I'm enough, when we're telling ourselves that, our subconscious is going, okay.
Right.
Or if we say, I'm a loser, your subconscious is, okay, well, we'll just help you live up to that. So we get to reprogram our thinking, and we're going to give tools on how to do that.
Okay. And how does, for all the ladies right now that are listening that would love to be there and to be able to get these tools and to find out more information, one more time, how did they get signed up?
Okay, so you go to wowwomenowningtheirworth.com, wowwomenowningtheirworth.com. Also, just as special for your listeners, if you go there today and you register, get your ticket, it's only $47, and in the business world, this is a $1,000 value, no question. Ask my coaching clients, they're like, what? Anyway, so if they put the call letters KIZN on it, then they're going to get a free book when they come the first day and register. So they get one of my books free in addition to that. So.
All right. Well, Joan, as always, love having you in, my dear, and love what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
And I hope if you're having any doubts, no matter how grave those thoughts are or where you happen to be in your life, this will definitely help.